Hello and welcome to CNN 10, where I tell you the what, letting you decide what to think. I'm Coy Wire. Happy Friday. And I say, what's up, sunshine? Because sunshine is the topic of our first story of the day. In just over 2 weeks, on Monday, April 8th, many of us will witness a celestial phenomenon, a total solar eclipse. That's when the moon's shadow completely blocks out the sun. Not everyone will be able to see it. It depends on where you live, but even if you don't see the total eclipse, you will probably see a partial eclipse. The last time a total solar eclipse happened in the US was 2017, but back then only 12 million people lived in the direct path of the eclipse. This time, you've got a much better chance to see it. More than 31 million Americans live in the so-called path of totality. So, it's time to start planning. Check out this NASA map. Are you in the direct path? If you are, and you plan on peeking up at it, you'll need to get special eclipse glasses. You can't view the eclipse without them. No normal sunglasses, or you can seriously damage your eyes, potentially permanently. Now, if you're really hoping to see it, don't miss it, because there won't be another total solar eclipse in the US for another 20 years. For more, check out this report we prepped for you earlier this week. A total solar eclipse. It happens when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun, completely blocking out the light. On April 8th, more than 32 million people across Mexico, the United States, and Canada could see the sun completely darkened by the moon's shadow, and that moment of total darkness could last more than 4 minutes in some places. It's also going to be the last one for quite some time. A total solar eclipse won't happen again in the United States for about another 20 years. Location is key. The total eclipse is only visible inside a very narrow track known as the path of totality. It stretches more than 10 US states from Texas through Maine, and the timing changes depending on where you are within that path. People outside that narrow band will still be able to see a partial solar eclipse. That's when the moon only blocks part of the sun's face. That should be visible in all 48 contiguous US states. Now, if you're planning on peeking at a total or partial eclipse, remember to get you some certified eclipse glasses. Regular sunglasses, not strong enough to protect your eyes. Otherwise, severe eye damage can occur. A solar retina burn can permanently injure your eyes, and you might not even feel it until it's too late. During the month of March, Women's History Month, we've been highlighting some seminal women who've transformed the world in profound ways, and sometimes making a difference can feel like trying to move a mountain. But one climber from Japan let nothing get in her way, not even the world's tallest mountain. Junko Tabe became the first woman ever to climb Mount Everest in 1975. She reached the 29,000-foot summit at age 35, standing at 4 feet 9 inches tall. This trek, located in the Himalayan mountain range on the border between Nepal and Tibet, is notoriously dangerous. AdventureStats.com finds that fewer than 30% of Mount Everest climbers were successful between the years 1922 and 2006. Junko Tabe not only successfully scaled Everest, she even conquered what's known as the 7 summits, becoming the first woman to ascend the highest mountains on all 7 continents. Even when she was diagnosed with cancer, the mountaineer continued to climb, taking a group of high school students up Mount Fuji when she was in her 70s. Tabe passed away at the age of 77 at a hospital near Tokyo in 2016. Next up, do you see her? She's sitting right up there in the front. That's Katharine Graham. As the leader of the Washington Post through most of the 1960s and 70s, she was used to operating in a male-dominated world. Graham was one of the first female publishers of a U.S. newspaper and the first ever female CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And she was a strong leader. She twice defied warnings from the U.S. government, first publishing the Pentagon Papers, which were leaked documents that exposed the reality of the Vietnam War. Later, she stood by her famed reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein. They broke the Watergate scandal, which led to the resignation of President Richard Nixon. Fearless, bold. Katharine Graham passed away back in 2001. She was 84 years old. Pop quiz hot shot. What sport are you playing if the fly half just faked a pass to the dummy runner? Soccer, lacrosse, rugby, or cricket? The fly half in rugby is the most influential player on the pitch and usually wears the number 10. Did you know? Today's story getting a 10 out of 10, a superstar athlete leaving his sport in his prime to chase a dream and inspire others. Life is short, and 23-year-old Louis Rees-Zammit knows it. He's a rockstar rugby player for Wales and his club Gloucester, but he's always dreamed of playing in the NFL, so he is going for it. I caught up with Louis, and he says he has no fear as he pursues his purpose. All right, Louis, a lifelong rugby star. You're leaving your sport at the top of your game. What in the world are you thinking?
It's a good question. It's a good question to start. I fancy a new challenge, and what a better challenge to be in the NFL. I mean, I've been training really hard for 7 or 8 weeks now, and I think I'm in a good position. I feel smooth, I feel comfortable, and I'm ready to show everyone what I can do.
Tell me about Dad. I understand he had a big influence over your decision to pursue this new passion.
Yeah, so my dad, as a teenager in the UK, he always played American football. It was pretty tough for him back then to get over to the States and go to college and try and go through that system. So, I kind of want to continue his legacy and go beyond and, inspire a lot of people back home to be able to make this change and, have the confidence to do it as well.
You get the tough part because I played defense. I got to hit people and tackle people. You're the one that everyone's trying to hit and tackle. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I mean, in rugby, you got to play both sides. So I'm used to having to tackle. I'm used to getting hit. So, I know special teams are going to be massive for me as well. So being able to have the ability to, go downfield on punt and hit someone, but also play an offense and be a receiver, / running back would be a dream come true for me.
What type of advantages do you think you might have having played and trained for rugby?
Being able to, identify spaces in defense. There's obviously 14 players in a line and then one in behind in rugby. So being able to, maneuver myself in between defenders, see holes, see gaps. And then ultimately, when I get the ball out wide, have a one-on-one and be able to finish. And that was my best attribute in rugby, being able to finish. And yeah, I'm excited to bring all my attributes into the NFL. It's not about a location. It's not about the money. I think it's about having a plan for me. I want to be on a team that has a plan, and I know, they know, we go through a good plan that knows where I'm going to go in the future, and I'm just excited to be able to show people on the 20th what I can do, and hopefully I can get teams interested.
I did read that you're a fan of warm weather, so for you, I shall hope that you don't go to Green Bay or Buffalo.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take a lot of places. So I'm just excited for this journey and see what happens.
We hope any of you out there who are looking up at that mountaintop, wondering if you'll ever get there or if you should even try, that Louis's journey might inspire you to go for it. All right, time to shine our light on some of you superstars. First up, shout out to the talented Hawks at Hopkins Middle School in Fremont, California. Thanks for flying high with us. And last but certainly not least, the Bulldogs at Rossford High School in Rossford, Ohio. Let me hear your big dog bark. Go on out and make it an awesome day today and keep shining everywhere you go. You never know who or how, but you might be exactly what someone needs someday. You are more powerful than you know. See you Monday. It's been a blessing to spend this week with you.